Hello, my name is Austin Belzer, and welcome to another interview from Slamdance 2025. Today I have director and screenwriter, let me know if I screw up this pronunciation, Brad Roelandt, and star
Hey,
Cleveen Dominguez from the short film Joey Earns Rewards. Did I get that right?
Clevin Dominguez for me, sorry.
Clevin,
like,
But you could
sorry.
just also Clev is usually what I just tell people because it's easier.
Okay, thank you. And a brief description. It's a short film. Joey Orange Rewards is a short film that documents Clev's unusual marriage proposal at a McDonald's drive-through. It's screening during Slamdance 2025 at the LA Times Theater um, on Sunday, February 23rd, and a screening at the Summer David Theater the following day. But Brad, Clev, welcome.
hey,
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for making time out of your I'm assuming busy. I mean, I you said screening on Sunday, so I imagine you're pretty much packing up to go if you're not already there.
well, we're here. It's Los Angeles now, so we're just doing it. We're just gonna drive down the block, basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
it easy.
yeah. I mean, it's funny. It was kind of like excited to travel when I got accepted, and then I out. I was like, oh, okay. But, oh, yeah. So it'll be fun. This is pretty much our very first thing.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, definitely of this I guess level of just like, oh cool, slam dance, nice.
yeah, yeah. No, yeah. It'll pick up tomorrow. That'll be the big.
Yeah, I imagine. I started talking to people back 2 weeks ago, I think,
Oh yeah.
maybe 3 weeks ago, and they're like, "Hey, can we get you that for the 27th?" And I'm like, "Okay." And then I scheduled them, and I'm like, "Well, about the 27th." That's a
Yeah.
busy day. But yeah, to take it back a little bit, talking of LA, this is the first year Slam Dance is in LA. You both have, or not you both, the short film has the Made in LA tag. So, would you like to talk, either one of you, about how kind of LA took part of the creation of Joey Earns Awards?
Sure. Um, I mean, I think what comes to mind first would be that this is a film where we stole a location. It's
Yeah.
all filmed on a drone and like nobody's aware that they're in the movie. And then this is the second movie that I've made of this type. And I think there's something we said about in LA, it is just more difficult to film a short, like in public, wherever you want. And so this is almost just there's more to it, but it is also just kind of a workaround to that problem. Like, whereas, if I was still in the Midwest, then a McDonald's would be excited. I
They
think they'd
really
be
would.
thrilled. All the teenagers there would be like, "Oh my God, it's a movie."
I mean, we literally just had a news report 2 days ago, 3 days ago on the local news that was talking about like, hey, all these films were filmed in Missouri, but then it was like an A&E series, and I'm like, okay,
Oh
well,
yeah.
can we really uh, can we really claim like is that really our claim to fame, A&E? Is that the best we can do in Missouri? But apparently so.
So goes.
I was like, I wouldn't have led with that. Maybe lead with something a bit higher profile.
Yeah. Hey, you still hold on to three billboards for a little bit longer.
Yeah, or Ozark, maybe just like say,
Yeah, oh, of course. Yeah, of course. It's in the name.
um,
Yeah. It's right
yeah,
there.
Arkansas was filmed in Arkansas. The film with Vince Vaughn from a few years ago. But speaking of setting, um, it takes place in the McDonald's drive-through. Obviously, you talked a little bit about how filming in LA is kind of restricted in a way. And I'd love you to talk a little bit more about that, like permits, stuff like that. Like I'd love to hear about the hurdles with that, like filming in a McDonald's assistant.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's mostly it's just the restraint of where the imagination could go while you're writing something. I think there's trying to I think I'm excited to kind of obliterate that more often. And some other things that Cleve and I are writing are kind of taking that to an extreme too, of just like, oh, if you film in this way, then you can kind of make a setting whatever you want. You can, like, in this style, you can just kind of VFX things in and no one would notice. Like you can add a statue, stuff like that. But it's kind of saving on our production design. It's saving on so many things. But yeah, but this film cost $30 to make. So I think we're grateful for uh to just be able to pull that off.
Yeah, you got to come up with a name with that because it can't, it's not just micro budget at that point. Is that like super micro budget?
I know, yeah, because it's like we already have ultra low, but it was like, yeah, there's ultra low and then micro, and then I
Just string now, like thread things, like what? How
yeah,
long?
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
Lunch bag salary or something like that.
yeah.
But yeah, and you talked a little bit about how this is like the second installment of your uh, single take aerial films. I'd love to delve into that a little bit, like what inspired you to make films from that perspective.
I mean, I think it just started with I I don't know what clicked in my brain, but I just got really, really fixated on that kind of imagery, the Where's Waldo look and the like roller coaster tycoon look. And then the painter Bruegel the Elder. It's like a lot of just it's all just that angle and just I think just playing with your toys is the thing. It's like all the little guys in one place, and there's just so many things to it. And then it kind of it never fails to make me laugh when just people move around. Like Cleve in this short, like going out to the trunk is just funny enough on its own. Like just leaving the car to go to the trunk is just like, oh, holy shit, that's it just adds kind of a level of stupidity, I guess, sometimes.
Yeah,
But I think it's just something I haven't seen. Jacques Tati does it, but I haven't seen it represented that much. There are a handful of short films that people have sent me since that time, but or since I've made these. I feel like that's the big draw. I'd say the other thing is the first of these films, the original way it was cut. It's very similar in format, but the way that was cut was there were no digital push-ins, there were no zooms into anything that was happening. And the idea was just like, okay, you have to look at this landscape and figure it out. Like you have to follow
yeah,
what's happening. And I did some color things. So the person who's wearing a blue jacket is the only person wearing blue at this mall. But I showed that to my parents and they got really mad because they didn't know what the hell was going on. And I was like, all right, I think this might do better if I just let people know like where to look.
yeah, that's probably like I know they talk about bit about I don't know what the technique is for that. This person is associated. I think it's like color theory, maybe. I don't know,
Hmm.
but I really like seeing that in a film where it's like, hey, blue guy is the only blue guy, so hey, the blue guy goes there and does these things. You talked a bit about Roller Coaster Tycoon yesterday. You'll be glad to hear this. Um, I guess they're re-releasing Coaster Tycoon 3, I believe.
Oh, great.
I saw a
nice.
trailer for it like yesterday. So on like the PlayStation YouTube channel. So I don't know if that's your favorite one, but that's the one Atari picked to re-release
Oh,
this year, I
great.
guess.
Well, yeah, I did have that one. I think about that whole series constantly.
Yeah, is that the one that was in? Because mine came from going to Six Flags, and then when you went to Six Flags, they gave you a CD, and
Really?
whatever roller coaster tycoon that was is the one that like sticks with me, I guess.
Well,
That three is the one where you could ride the rides. That was the big gimmick of
Okay,
it.
I remember doing that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
yeah, and I need to go back and check it out. But I just thought I'd mention that since you talked about Roller Coaster Tycoon and um, but yeah, I literally just was watching YouTube the other day and I was like, oh, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I'm sure this never will come up this week. And it does. There you go. But yeah, and then Clev, I'd like to hear from you about like your first reaction when you read the script for Joey Earns Reward.
yeah. I mean, I've been, you know, reading Brad's or helping or table reads with Brad of all his shorts prior to this, like the Grove one and this one, and every time, not only is just like the location like an idea of that, like super cool and interesting, but I guess like the kind of the emotion behind him and all the kind of like how do I describe like the chaos kind of, but it's not like a super over the top. It's kind of like a small, like a very subtle, like easy to understand kind of
Mhm.
emo emotion, I guess, or kind of everything. And I mean, for this, it's just anytime I'm like, someone asks me like, "Hey, do you want to act or be in something?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure." But luckily, this one was super like the kind of character of my character, I guess, is just like guy failing to propose and awkward about it. And like, oh, I can do that easily. Like I could just pretend to be myself and cool, right? And luckily, like Joey and Meg were both super fun to work with. Like Joey's just like so like naturally funny, so hard not to. I guess the hardest part is trying not to laugh when like we're like in the take and Joey's just like delivering something and then we went through like going through rehearsals and he says it one way, but then like during the actual like recording, he says it like just throws me off. I'm just like, all right, gotta stay in my mode or my acting mode. But yeah, it's just I don't know. Brad has a good way of, I guess, writing characters and putting them in situations that are interesting to both read, watch, and be in. Just so stoked you had me a part of it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Brad, did I cut you off? Okay. Yeah. And from the performance aspect from it, single take films are not I don't want to say new because I feel like we've been doing them for what, 10 years? Was Birdman the first single take film in recent memory, I think? Maybe.
That'd be like the first mainstream one. Yeah.
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 And actors will always talk about how uh, that affects how they, play a scene out. And I'd love to hear, Clev, about how doing something in one take ostensibly um, impacts your performance and ability to play, I guess, in the scene.
I guess there's a, I think I'm someone who like tends to more overthink or kind of like be cautious about things. And with something that's one take, I'm sort of forced into just like rolling with the punches. And I do remember like I don't know if it's a take that's in it where I think one of them I forgot my phone in there and just kind of having to like here's your phone or kind of like improv-ish, kind of like, okay, we're just gonna like do this. But luckily with the, big like drone from afar, I know that like my minute kind of like actions aren't so, I guess, important, I guess. I mean, like the big broad, like getting out of the car and everything are more important. But yeah, it kind of feels almost like a elaborate play in a way where just like once we're like rolling it, like even before we have to, there's like a whole like we have AirPods in, we're all talking to each other, and then like it right from like yep, AirPods like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And like going from the, I remember like we had to exit, go into an alleyway, and then just like, all right, we're gonna go here, like got a plan. There's like 20 different things going on. Like, all right, if there's many people in line, like we gotta kind of figure it out. And also talking to actual McDonald's, the actual workers, and kind of almost like a not man on the street, but kind of somewhat like I'm a I'm in character right now, but I'm also talking to an actual person that's, working at a regular job. And I mean, luckily I don't have to do anything like there's no like, can I get a kids meal or some like some dumb stuff. It's just like being kind of just real with um everyone and yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to make it like a prank. Like
Yeah.
I hate that kind of thing for like dealing with actual people. Like it's just, like you don't want to hurt anyone's day. So I love the way you say thank you, like the really, really sad thank you while you're driving away from the drive.
It's
I
like,
know.
oh,
I think Meg has the brunt of like the emotional brunt of like having to just be very strange. Yeah.
yeah, luckily I just have to like play out like off of them, like Meg and Joey, I feel like have like the weight of like
Oh,
all this
Joey.
stuff. I'm just like, cool. I'm just like have to be sad, like and anxious. But yeah, like the whole like Band on the Street, it feels refreshing to kind of do something that's like public facing, but not. I mean, not to say like everything is at the expense of, people's reactions or anything. It's like a byproduct, I guess, of just the idea of everything, where it's like, okay, cool, like there's people here, maybe something maybe doesn't, but I mean, it's never the focus of things, but it's slight obstacle, but not necessarily.
Sure. Yeah, I can imagine they wouldn't like the McDonald's workers, I mean, wouldn't love for you to order like 1,000 McDoubles or anything like that. They probably would be like, okay, dude, chill out. Because I think that's something that could be easily just kind of, and you addressed this a little bit too. I don't know if this is the right word, but exploited kind of in a short film where it's like, oh, we need to play up the comedy. Let's just order a ridiculous amount. Like, let's add to it by being like a horrible customer, right? But I think that was a great answer when you're saying like, yeah, these are people doing their jobs, and yeah. But you talked a little bit about Joey and Meg, and I wanted to dig a little bit deeper into that. About how you kind of played off them. Joey's uh, pretty much a force of nature in the story, and Meg's kind of crucial to the emotional weight. So, I'd love to hear your perspective about developing the dynamic with those two people and characters.
Brad, do you want to or
Yeah, well, I guess I could just say how where the writing began. I think he was asking about how you play off.
Yeah,
oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Okay, I'll let you go. I'll let you
I
go.
mean, for Meg, she's so like I mean Joey goes on her just kind of knowing that his, I guess, tone deafness, not to like I'm just kind of just trying my best to, I guess, straight man almost, even though I'm not like no one. I can't think who is in this. Yeah, I mean with Meg, I think if she's super just funny naturally to work off of, and Joey is, yeah, like you were saying, a force of nature, and I mean they're like I don't know, I feel like almost the just in It's Always Sunny, there's all the funny people, like everyone's like a great cast member, but and I think like Rob McElhenney's like says that he's just like, oh, I'm the worst actor out of all of them, and I just let everyone do their thing, and I kind of feel like that in a sense, where I'm just like, all right, cool, let Meg shine and Joey shine because they're just so like naturally like funny and talented that I'm like, all right, cool, like literally the technique of, I guess, reacting, or just kind of like, all right, like let them have fun. I'll just like respond to that.
yeah, great answer. Or either one of you can answer this question, but I'd love to hear about what you hope audiences take away from Joey Earns Awards when they see it at the Slamdance or any future festival.
I mean, I think the big thing, I know when I see a movie, something I haven't seen before, then I find it really activating, and I hope that that's, I find the people that like the movie most are not just other filmmakers, but mostly other filmmakers. I'm like, I feel like I get the best response from, and I am very I'm a big advocate for this like new wave of micro budget stuff that's been happening the past couple of years, and I hope more people jump on that and like just make the movie they want to make and just find a way to do it. And yeah, so I hope that that's a big aspect of it for people.
Mine is just, I hope people get the McDonald's apps, because I think I got it after that, and I actually do love the rewards now, and I'm like, damn, this is actually great. So shout out Brad for getting me this.
It's rewritten from Taco. It was Taco Bell at one point as I was writing it. And I'm a big Taco Bell app guy. So I think, yeah. But I find that when the bell dings when you order, I find it kind of condescending. I feel kind of like, oh, you're mocking me.
Taco Bell?
Yeah, whenever you order, it goes dong. And I'm like, back off. I'm not a
Like you
child.
don't have to be you don't have to do all that Taco Bell. You can just
Like, here's your
Just let me
splat.
eat in my car in silence,
Yeah,
please.
exactly. Way to do it.
But yeah, I hope more people do make micro budget films because I know at Spirit Awards they have a micro budget thing award, the John Cassavetes Award, I think it's called. And I've noticed recently that like so they increased the amount of like the budget cap on that, and it's just like okay, now we're getting movies from Mubi that have like big names, and I'm like, that's kind of not
Oh,
what a micro budget is.
no.
A micro budget is, I think, a lot of the films that premiere at Sundance. It's not Sundance, Slamdance. Um, because Fist Bump, they're talking about they made it on $1,000. You guys made this on $30, I think you said earlier.
Hmm.
And I think I agree with you, is the short answer of it. Because I think that's kind of a shrinking market. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. And and yeah, Clev, or I think Brad maybe said this. The thing I hope my message to people, if anything, would be take risks on more films.
Yeah.
Like I said this in my interview with the Whole Truth director, that a somebody asked me, what is your strategy for Slamdance, or what are you seeing? And I'm like, I don't have a strategy. I just go out and see everything because everything's at least some degree of good to great. It might not have a great idea, or it
Mm.
may have a great idea and have bad execution, but it might have an idea in there that's really a great nugget for somebody else to look at and say, oh, I can make that into a great film or something like that. I don't know. It's just there's a lot of great ideas that slammed it. It's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so I encourage everyone to at least watch as much as they can during Slamdance. I think they're still doing the Slamdance channel thing, and even that alone is worth it. I think it's like $12 a year or something like that. It's really affordable.
Mm.
And Clef, did did you answer? Did I get your answer for what you think audiences should take
Oh
this
yeah,
movie?
I gave a kind of just like uh funny one, but like earnestly, like I mean, what you're saying about micro shorts, like big swing, micro budgets, and that there's something to be. I guess what I love also with the micro budget is I think it also kind of invites like community or just like other people. Like this is if this went through like channels of actual budget and stuff, that's like payments of other like lighting and all this other thing, but it's like no, just get your friends together and have fun. And I think like that kind of like reads well with along with a strong like script and concept. Just go and yeah, I guess hope everyone can go try to make what they love with what they have around them.
Yeah, and it's easier than ever, right? Because my iPhone can shoot log now. Like I'm not saying shoot everything on like access has gotten incredibly easy. You just pair, basically the camera you already have and try to learn editing software and grading software. And I think you can make whatever you want. I think, I mean, this was filmed on a drone. I mean, I feel like a lot of people should, I think, be making more drone films, or aerial
Mm.
shot films because I I watched the Michael Bay did a really good job of it. I know in Ambulance that I thought
Yeah,
his
yeah.
drone usage in that movie was
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
it's nuts. And I'm waiting for somebody like on not necessarily a smaller scale, but like more variety to the way they shoot, the way we shoot things is
Hmm.
something I'm looking out for. Um, Especially as rigs get smaller and smaller and smaller. But yeah, with that, I just want to thank you both for taking the time to talk about the film, the short film Joy Ernst Awards during Slamdance at the LA Times Theater, Sunday, February 23rd, and then the Summer David Theater the following day. But yeah, thank you both so much for coming on. I hope people see it. If they don't, I'll just escort them to Slamdance. I'll just like take a little virtual broom and be like, "Hey, go, at least go see something from Slamdance,"
Yeah.
because I think it's one of the most, I think, inventive film festivals out there. Yeah, I truly,
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah,
yeah.
thanks so much, Austin. Yeah.
Thank you both. But yeah, for those watching at home, if you enjoyed this interview, I'll have more Slam Dance and South by Southwest 2025 interviews coming your way. And you can find a link to purchase tickets for Joy Earns Rewards for either screening in the description of this interview. And until next time. You can find me on Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads under my username, Austin B Media, as well as my Discord and Patreon community chat. Speaking of Patreon, if you'd like early access to this next interview or more exclusive content, head on over to patreon.com/AustinBmedia. For just $3 a month, you get 48-hour early access to my reviews, podcasts, interviews like this one, and articles, plus patron-only channels on my Discord. The $10 a month tier, you'll unlock uncut podcast episodes, exclusive episodes, and more. If you enjoyed this interview, stay tuned for more Slam Dance and South by Southwest 2025 interviews. Until next time.